Hello and welcome. In this video I show you step by step how I draw these two realistic parrots with pan pastels and pastel pencils. I'll show you lots of tricks that you can use quickly and easily. I taped the edges of the paper in advance so that I would have a white border later. Then I transferred my motif onto the paper. I don't use expensive special paper for this picture, but paint on thick white cardboard paper. Paper specially made for pastel colors has the advantage that it can absorb many layers of color more easily. If you run your finger over the pastel paper, it feels like sandpaper. That's how coarse the texture is. However, my cardboard paper only has a fine texture. This makes working with pastel colors a little more difficult because they do not adhere so well to the cardboard paper. Later in the video, I'll also tell you what little tricks I use to solve this problem. I painted the background with pan pastel colors. There are a variety of color sets that are filled in separate small containers. All pan pastel colors contain high-quality pigments that make the colors really intense. As all pan pastel colors are very soft, you can pick up the color from the container with a small sponge, and then transfer it to the paper. This allows you to paint a large area in a very short time. After I finished the background, I sprayed my picture with fixative. This ensures that the colors stick to the paper and no longer smudge. This has the advantage that I can no longer get dirty if I accidentally wipe the colors with my wrist or arm. After the fixative has dried completely, I start on the first parrot. Here too, I paint the first layer with pan pastel colors. This goes really quickly. I use different colors to set accents. For example, to indicate the individual feathers of the parrot. Later I will work these out further with pastel pencils. To be able to paint over it with pastel pencils, you must first fix the picture again with fixative. This prevents the colors from smudging and gives you a better structure to paint over. As soon as the fixative is completely dry, you can continue with pastel pencils. Unfortunately, I applied the pan pastel colors a little too thickly in some places in the lower color layers, so that the paper is already quite saturated with color. As a result, I occasionally have problems painting over it with the pastel pencils. The colors don't want to adhere to the paper the way I would like them to. Hence my tip to you. Always apply pan pastel colors very sparingly to your paper, especially if you want to continue working with additional layers of color. I only use the pan pastel colors for the background, and to create an initial color base, on which I can then build with pastel pencils. In between I always fix my picture with fixative, so that it doesn't smudge. Basically that's the whole secret. In this way, I work my way through the entire drawing with a lot of patience and time. First I create a rough base and then refine it. I paint lighter and darker areas and set specific accents. And in between I fix the colors again and again. This gives my pictures more depth and a three-dimensional effect. Sometimes when it has to be done quickly, or I simply don't have a paper wiper to hand, I also use my fingers. I blend the colors and let them run into each other. I make minor corrections with an eraser. From time to time I also use the eraser to lighten isolated areas and remove colors. There are no limits to creativity. Personally, I don't think it's important how you achieve your goal, what material you use or how much time you need for something. Only the result is important. It took me about 15 hours to paint these two parrots. On top of that, it took me well over 10 hours to edit the video, create the soundtrack and add the captions. If you have enjoyed my video so far, I would be very happy if you rewarded my work with a thumbs up or a comment. This helps me to be found better on YouTube, and I stay motivated to continue making lots of videos for you. I hope you were able to pick up some useful tips. And I hope you enjoy watching how my two parrots develop.